Hi, I wanted to do a quick review on the Lenormand Oracle cards. I've had these for a while now. These are the bigger cards. This same deck is offered online usually at a smaller size. I had used that deck to death, so I had to replace it and order a new deck, but I couldn't find the smaller version of this deck online on Amazon. So I had to get the larger size. I will say that the prices have went up even in the last 3 or so years, at least 2 to 3 times. So that's a little bit ridiculous, and I couldn't find any American sellers, so I had to wait a long time to get this deck. I've only had it for a few months, this new version of this deck in the bigger size, but I used the same deck before in a smaller size for over a year to two before now. But I wanted to just go over this deck, just talk about the things that I really like about it. I really love this deck. This was my favorite Lenormand deck so far. I just love the images on this deck. I love very vintage looking images. I love simple images for Lenormand cards. I like that they don't have the card inserts. There's not a lot of other things going on in the cards, so the symbols are very easy to read. I find that with a lot of new Lenormand decks, the author or the card creators, they usually don't read Lenormand themselves, but they create decks, and they sometimes don't remember that it can be difficult to discern what's in the card if you have too many things going on the card. So I like that these cards are very simple and easy to figure out what the card symbol is. And while these cards are very simple, they also have enough like background nuance in them so you can gauge, more energy from the cards or more details when you do your reading. And I really like that. I really like that these cards have a personality to them and like a traditional feel without being um, overly simplistic. But I really love these cards. I've gotten a lot of accurate readings from using these cards. I don't like the bigger size as much, but I couldn't find the smaller size again. But the images are all the same. I really, really love these cards. Each, symbol can just vary among different card decks. So if you're just shopping for a new Lenormand deck, you just have to go by your own personal style and what the cards say to you, how they speak to you, and how you prefer to read them. Some people like cards that are even more minimalistic than this. And then other people like more modern or more, innovative twists on the cards where it's a lot more going on in the cards. So it just depends on you. I like the more simple, dialed down card images, but I still like a lot of personality on them. And I just love this deck so much. I'm not really doing a flip through, just wanted to show you some of the cards and just share some information about why I like this deck. And I think if you're just new to Lenormand, it's best to try a few decks. Look at some YouTube videos for deck reviews to see what works best for you. But when you see a deck that really calls out to you and like your style, the images that you like, it's just best to try to hop up on it and try to build a relationship with that particular deck. Because, you can have some wonderful readings if you find a deck that you really, truly bond with. And this deck was that for me. So thank you so much. I don't have any big cons about this deck other than what I stated earlier about the pricing increases, the difficulties for reordering it. If you use the deck a lot, like every day, this deck is going to hold up well, especially if you read for yourself daily or you read for others. This deck really holds up well, which I like. It's just if you have to reorder it, it may be a little difficult. It may take some time or cost a lot more money. But I really love this deck. And if you have this deck, please let me know your thoughts on using it. It's just a really awesome deck. I just love it. It's simple. It's very effective. You get very accurate readings, or at least I have. And when I initially bought it a few years ago, it came at a very inexpensive price for about $13 or so. But I think for this bigger deck, I paid about $27, and that was without any type of shipping. And I had to wait a month or so before I received it in the mail. So that's what I would say, but that has nothing to do really with the deck itself. I think it's an awesome deck. It's really beautiful, vintage looking images, and I just love it so much. It's so easy to work with. I think it's a good beginner deck, and I just love it. So thank you so much and have a good day.